Our coverage of the NFL has brought us to Space City and NRG Stadium, right next to where the old Astrodome sits, here in Houston, Texas. Punter Mitch Wishnowsky ready to do the honors. And we're off and running from Houston. On the return, here comes Tank Dell. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Off play action, it's Mahomes. Has a man, Justin Jefferson. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Mixon on the counter. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. The screen pass falls incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. So that brings up 4th and long.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Texans going to kick this away on 4th, and it's Tommy Townsend on for the punt. The punt's away, and this one looking good. Angled this one for the sideline. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Right to the air, Burrow. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he's going to step out a yard or two short of the 30. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a 49er 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. On target to his back. Here's Christian McCaffrey. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Translatable skills. That's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
2nd and 3 now. Burrow out of the shotgun. Brought in by Ayuk. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. A 5-yard gain on the play. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
1st and 10 from the 41. Here's the first carry for Christian McCaffrey. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 43. Reeled in by George Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's a 49er 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. Got him, Nick. Oh, he lost the football. Oh, and they got it back. This play is still live. Well, you don't like to see the fumble, but hey, at least they were able to be the ones to recover it, and they keep possession.
Yeah, and I think the key there was to stay calm through the chaos. Cooler heads prevailed, and got him the ball back.
We've arrived at the end of one on Thursday night. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. We're back, and it's 49ers football as we resume. They'll have 2nd down as they look to continue this good drive. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's able to get this down to the 13. He picks up 28 on the play. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. The throw is caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. It sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Receiver in motion, headed right. Oh, surprise gift to the receiver near the goal line. And he cannot shake the tackler along the line of scrimmage. No gain on 2nd down, and they need 2 here on 3rd.
Well, you call that play to surprise the defense, try to get to the goal line. But a quick adjustment by the defense, well, it kept him in position to make the stop and ruin that play.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And got his man. That's a San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers get the game's first points here in the second. A.J. Brown, the touchdown. Well, whether he stays the go-to guy the entire game, we will all judge together. But no doubt about it, on that opening drive, Brock, he was the star. Bunch of catches and a touchdown to begin this one.
Yeah, I think this is twofold. Number one, you love to get this guy started early. He's a playmaker. He's a difference maker. Number two, this defense, well, they better be on high alert because this offense feels like they have a matchup they can attack, and that time attack a third time for 6.
Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now we'll see the Houston offense for their second drive of the contest. Still in search of their first points as we work our way through the middle of this game. The score 7-0. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They motion the tight end over. 1st and 10, it's Mahomes. He'll get this to Jefferson. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Collins, the receiver, in motion left. And he'll get it up to the 44. That one gains 7. And it sets up a Houston first. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. That's Jefferson, he's got it. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. Give him 13 on that play. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Finding Collins. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Second and 3 now. Again, Mahomes to throw. Dumped off to his running back. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down and ready to turn it into a negative play.
Niners countering with a 5th defensive back on this 3rd down. Back to the air, Mahomes has him on the quick hitter. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. We get a timeout here taken by the 49ers. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try and field goal for the Texans on this 4th down. From the right hash, this is going to be a 51-yarder. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. On the return, here's Tyreek Hill. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Second drive coming up for this 49ers offensive unit. And leading just 7-3, might be better to take a knee and take the lead into the locker room. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. First down, Burrow to throw. He gets it complete to his man, Tyreek Hill. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. The 49ers are ready to go on offense for the final time in the first half. And they'll need to be judicious in using that final timeout, Brock, but they still could put a scoring drive together before the break. First and 10 from the 41. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kate, that's a really nice play in coverage. That linebacker looking like a quarterback on that play. Perhaps those cover guys could take some notes on how to stay in position and, most importantly, swat that pass away.
Burrow throwing again on 2nd and 10. Has a man, it's Brown.
As quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. To throw again, it's Burrow. Complete beyond the marker. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Throwing is Burrow. This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Hill now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. We'll see the San Francisco offense first this half as they're headed out now. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the second half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every first down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
Burrow back to throw. Into traffic, complete. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Burrow setting up the play action. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. He gets 6 on that play. And that's a 49er first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Burrow to the air now. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Even from the booth, Kate, I can hear it. I can hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did, wasting no time in getting that sack.
On 2nd down, here's McCaffrey. Still finding room past the 45. And he's finally marked down at the 46-yard line. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, Kate. They don't always get the attention they deserve on the broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
And they limit the damage just a few yards on that game. Jesse Bates getting up for the stop that time.
I remember talking to Jim Harbaugh one time, and Bo Schembechler asked him when he was a head coach, you have a tight end with his hand on the ground? Yes, coach. You have a fullback still on your roster? Yes, coach. And you're going to be just fine.
Here's 2nd and 7. Completes this one to Hill. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's a 49er first down.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Burrow. Brought in by Ayuk. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
A tight end in motion now. Burrow from the gun. This one's taken in by Hill. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the play. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Kittle brings it in. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
2nd and 6 coming up here. On the toss, it's McCaffrey. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. We've reached the end of the 3rd quarter on this Thursday night. It's 49ers football, and we'll see if they can close things out for a win. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. He's back to throw. The throw is caught. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Jake Moody now in a high-pressure spot. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game.
Kate, it's 3 more on the scoreboard, but both sides really know it's all about one possession here in the 4th quarter when it really matters.
Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. Dell now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Houston offense out and ready to set up shop. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Short pass brought in. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Has a man, Dalton Schultz. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Into the hands of Jefferson, complete. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Running with Mixon out of the gun. And the hit stops him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. It looked like they had it, but nope, no gain. And now they're just inches short for 3rd down. Looking to throw. That's caught for the first. They got 24 yards on the play. And it sets up a Houston first.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains. There wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
With how hard it is to get an open look downfield, can't let the coverage off the hook with the drop. Saw open space, started running before he was able to watch the ball into his hands.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. He'll look to throw it. Schultz with the catch. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first. Timeout coming from the Texans. That's their first. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down. Now to throw. Catch is made in close. And in for the Houston touchdown. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for 2 and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the head coach. Does he trust his offense more to go get this 2-point conversion, or is he going to lean in his defense and believe that they can get the stop?
That one right down the middle. And the Texans tie things 10-10. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now the 49ers getting set to go on offense. And we'll see how aggressive they get to try and end this game in regulation, or if overtime is on the horizon. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Setting up to pass. That throw finds Kittle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one. And that's a 49er first down.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case, tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
And they got there in time. He's taken down. We get a timeout here taken by the 49ers. That's going to be their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. To the line they go. It's second down. Another try following the sack. That finds Aiyuk complete. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
49ers moving quickly, trying to get their offense to the line. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. Still one more in their pocket to use. To the line for a new set of downs. Only a lone timeout at their disposal. One of the tight ends in motion left. Shotgun, handoff to McCaffrey. He finds space into the red zone. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
So everything comes down to this from Jake Moody. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. That one is good! And that, folks, is your game winner! Offense liked how that play went, so they choose to decline the penalty.
I know that was a kick he could make in his sleep, but with the game on the line, he delivered.
Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Out now come the Texans on offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. First and 10 now from the 30. One final shot here. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. He's got it inside the 25. And what a play. He scores. They get to the end zone on the final snap, and a huge moment wins them the game. So it's a win for the Texans. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And, Kay, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game. It's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
So for Brock Huard, everyone here on our great crew, I'm Kate Scott, and this has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans, as we'll see you next time from Houston. In the only building this franchise has ever known. We're at the home of the Texans. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Punter Mitch Wishnowsky ready to do the honors. And away we go from NRG Stadium. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. He's got it deep downfield. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. It's a 33-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Running for the first time with Joe Mixon. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You call that first down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards. They'll take that every single time.
They've got first down from the 31. Motioning one of the tight ends. Mahomes on first. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out. Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. And that play backfired. He's brought down way behind the line.
Well, I think you know the only thing redeeming about that play, Kate.
They got the ball back.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, they got the ball back, but a whole lot longer down in distance.
Let's see what they dial up on a second and very long. Trying again following the sack. As a man, Justin Jefferson. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Putting the tight end in motion. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Everly's kick is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. He's stopped on the return at the 27. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Right to the air, Burrow. And his first offering of the game winds up incomplete.
Yeah, I know nobody's perfect. And all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Trying an inside give now with McCaffrey. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
And it's the dime package on 3rd down by the Texans. Extra DBs on the field. Burrow out of the shotgun. Completes this one to Chase. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Kittle brings it in. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Play brought to an end by Jalen Ramsey. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Running back, motioning right. Burrow throwing out of the pistol. On target to his back, here's Christian McCaffrey. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a 49er 1st down. We've arrived at the end of one on Thursday night. Just 3-0 is our score. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. We're back, and it's 49ers football as we resume. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. They'll try and take an option left side. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
Here's 2nd and 11. He'll get it to Brandon Ayuk. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. They get 13 on the pickup. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Brought in by Ayuk. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. Second and 3 now. From the gun, McCaffrey. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. The throw is caught. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Burrow from the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
Couldn't connect to a timely kill. And now a 4th down stare right at him.
So many coaches love 3rd downs and practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game or already out of hand, coaches know got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
Moody knocks it through. And it'll knock this game up late in the 2nd quarter.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. His return starts at the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. This Texans offense readied up for its 2nd drive of the contest. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
That's a catch for Nico Collins. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
1st and 10, it's Mahomes. Pass taken in by Diggs. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Timeout coming from the Texans. That's their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. Again, Mahomes to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
After the sack, another pass on second down. Sends it to Diggs along the sideline. And he'll be across midfield and close to that 45 before going out.
That's a pro's pro right there. That is one heck of an experienced catch. He made sure to secure the ball, but he also knew exactly where the sideline was to get both feet down.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. They send a tight end in motion. 3rd down, it's Mahomes. Finds him over the middle. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
A 4-yard gain. It's 4th down.
Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try a field goal for the Texans on this 4th down. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. And this one had a brief chance, but not a good kick in the end. He misses it. And we do not get a 3rd field goal of the game as we stay tied at 3-3.
He was hitting from that distance pregame. Heck, we were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Back to throw it. First play, he's going for it to the end zone. And he swats that deep shot away, but he better not celebrate just yet. Looks like his contact drew a flag. They may still get this yardage. Moody knocks it through. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. On the return, here's Tyreek Hill. Returns looking good so far. And he showed some burst on that return, getting them all the way to their own 40. The 49ers offense ready to get to work to begin this 3rd quarter. And they settled for a chip shot field goal last time, Brock. You got to think they want to be able to finish it off and reach the end zone here. The 49ers find themselves in a great spot to start this drive. 1st and 10 coming up. They'll start this series with an option left. And he's brought down for a loss.
Not sure if it was a missed assignment on the line, a dominant play on his part, or maybe a little bit of both, Kate, but look at those dudes down there defensively. Man, they are fired up after that stick behind the line.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. They'll start the 2nd half with McCaffrey. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Minkah Fitzpatrick in on the stop. They get those 2 yards back, but now it leaves them with 3rd and 10. Burrow to the air now. That's caught for the 1st. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. It's a 21-yard gain. And that's a 49er 1st down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
Running back sent in motion. On first down, here's Burrow. That's McCaffrey working the sideline. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Burrow setting to throw. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
He's on the move. He's running for it. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
First down, Burrow to throw. Finds his fullback. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. They'll have first and goal to go now after they gain 18 on the previous play.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
This offense in position now. It's first and goal. Working inside the red zone. He brings it in. He has the San Francisco touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Moody knocks that extra point through. And the 49ers make it a 10-point ball game.
Texans 3.
Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. Has this at the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Houston's offense back out now, ready to go. They're down 10 as they take over. We've got a 13-3 ball game. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Completed to Collins. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 36. Schultz with the catch. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Throwing this back in the end zone. And through the back of the end zone and out of bounds.
This is an excellent job, Kate, right here by the defense to deny that big play and make them earn it offensively. If they want to reach the end zone, they're going to have to scrap and fight right through them.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Throwing again, Mahomes. Big catch made, and he got both feet in. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Just about every defensive coordinator worth his salt says two things in every production meeting. Number one, well, we got to stop the run. And number two, we got to take away the tight end. Well, good luck doing that. Defending a big guy who can move like that, it's a lot easier to talk about than to go out and execute. Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
Offense in the hurry up here. Another throw for Mahomes. Finding Collins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the first down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
And they send a man in motion. Throwing on first down, Mahomes. This is complete to Schultz. And he'll go down here at the 16.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Back to the air, Mahomes. On target to his back, Joe Mixon. And he goes down, so they're set up with a nice first and goal as we've reached our 2-minute warning. Blitz coming, Mahomes. And this is cut for a score, and we are not done here yet. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate. Yep. You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. But what makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal will tie this game in the fourth. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Starting from the 5. Good looking return here, and he's got room. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. The 49ers back on offense and set to take over. They're headed out now defending not a 2-score lead, just a field goal advantage here. So wondering, Brock, is that going to affect how they approach a chance at closing this one out?
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. Yeah, I think if it's a 2-score game, it's run, 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 take every second off, and punt that ball. Not now. Now you've got to get to the plays that you trust and believe in the most.
And he's tackled after gaining a handful. So here come the 49ers on offense. And they still have work to do. A couple of pesky timeouts remaining on the opposite sideline. So a chance that the ball could still go back over. Second and 6 coming up here. They stick with McCaffrey. And he's not going to get much. A modest gain at best to the 41. Houston calls it second timeout. And they'll have just one left to burn now. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Wow, still throwing, and this is intercepted! Jesse Bates in to pick it off. Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. He'll look to throw it. Cut by Diggs. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. The clock rolls as the Texans try to hurry their offense to the line. Here he is to throw. That's Jefferson. He's got it. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
Setting up to pass. Collins there to grab it. And he'll go down here at the 16. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Cut near the goal line. And this is down all the way to the 3. Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Kaimi Fairbairn on now as we see how he handles this moment. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Now it's Kaimi Fairbairn on to try it for the Texans. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. Looking good, and it's through. And inside the final minute, they've tied this up.
These are the moments, Kate, when you realize how valuable a clutch kicker is. When he's the only guy out there and everybody relying on him, and he delivers.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. He's going to return it from a yard or 2 deep. And this drive will start inside the 25. Now out comes the San Francisco offense. And there's enough time left that you can't call it impossible. They're going to need a heck of a play downfield to get in range for a possible game winner. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. That's going to do it for regulation. So some bonus football in store for all those fans in the stands. We're headed for overtime. And hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here in overtime. That's going to be taken in at the 8. Jukes one defender, and he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled. The Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line. 1st and 10. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. from the 46. Pass taken in by Diggs. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes an impact that gets home. But of course we know it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field for more than a second or two.
After the sack, another pass on second down. Into the hands of Schultz. Decent gain here, but short of the first. This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Back to throw Mahomes. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. He wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Give him 24 on that play. And the Texans are going to have a first down.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Mahomes on 1st and 10. Brought in close to the 8. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there, and there's nothing this defense can do.
Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Has his man, it's Mixon.
Defense all over that throw. You could just smell it. They just smelled that football coming their way, and that's as good as an incompletion. And they're going to be in a good spot. Second down coming up.
Still lined up at the 6. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Mahomes now. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And now they're left with 3rd and goal.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
To throw. Catch is made in close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face, because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
It's good. The kick sails through. And the pressure now applied to that opposing sideline.
And this game isn't over yet officially, but when you see the time left on the clock, you've got to treat this attempt like a game winner. He just did, coming through in the moment of truth to put them up in overtime.
We'll see if their defense can hold now and finish off an overtime win as the kick is away. Hill now to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. The San Francisco offense headed out to take over. Their defense held at least a little, Brock, but the pressure is still on. They need a field goal to keep this game going or a touchdown to end it.
And I can promise you right now, lie detector test in that huddle, every single one of those guys have asked says, I want a touchdown. I'm not even thinking of a field goal. That should be your mindset to go finish this game right now.
Kittle brings it in. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
First and 10 from the 41. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. He lofts it deep left. And he had the game in his hands, Brock, but he couldn't hang on. A pick would have ended it.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, he just couldn't quite hang on.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Burrow out of the shotgun. He's trying another one deep. And this one falls incomplete. Still 17 seconds left to play. Trying to connect with Tyreek Hill there. So now it's going to be third and long.
That play is so impressive on so many levels. Not just because it saves a touchdown, Kate. He had to time that perfectly to knock it free without drawing a flag or let him establish possession for the score. That is so good.
And that's the game. The interception does it. Picked it off by Levante David. And the Texans will take over along the midfield stripe after the interception and return. So it's the Texans who defend their building and take the win. And they only needed to set him up with a shot to connect and win it with 3, and his aim was true to make it happen and put an end to this competitive ball game. So for Brock Huard, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. It's a win for the Texans, as we'll see you next time from Houston.